All right, so the Joey from
Hi.
Lagwagon. Hi. How's it going? So
Vietnamese.
Eating Vietnamese in Houston.
That's right. That's
so
where I go for the good Vietnamese is Houston, you know?
Nice.
I always heard.
So Fat Records recently celebrated a milestone of 25 years, and Lagwagon has been one of those bands that kind of helped define that label sound. How does it feel to be a band that not only kind of survived, but you guys are still out there,
It feels good. It's good. It's particularly nice that we've had, you know, the same group of people that we've worked with as far as, you know, Fat Records being our label the entire time. That's maintained a consistency that's really nice, and I think a lot of other bands have not experienced. And so it's taken a large variable out of the dynamic that I think is one of the negatives, you know, just the idea of the marketing part and actually having a record released and the relationships that you have to deal with, or, you know, that have to grow. Those business relationships can be, I think, a drag, but I wouldn't know really, because we've just had this very fortunate friendship with everybody that works there for so long. And so it's awesome to celebrate that anniversary with them, because, you know, we were sort of there from the start, so it feels like an anniversary for us as well. It's really good.
That's awesome. So how does the band work in 2015, since most of you guys are later, you're in your late 40s? Has the operation shifted?
I mean, not really. I mean, I think maybe I have to be a little more careful, you know, before tour. I have to warm up my voice a little bit so I don't lose it, even though every once in a while I get sick and I'll lose it on tour anyway. And there are definitely, you know, physical problems that arise in the band. A couple guys in the band are having real big problems with their backs right now. One of them's lying back there on the floor, and he just lies there half the day trying to get his back better for the show. Other than that, though, I mean, I you know, it's very much the same. It's the same routine, something we're really comfortable with. So just tour a lot. Shows are shows. I would say there's differences, you know, in the song production. You know, the process of making new music is different, but that's, you know, kind of a given, I guess. But yeah, it's a place where we're very comfortable.
Awesome. Okay, so
answer, sorry.
no, it's a good answer. All right, so this is
by my wonderful food here.
All right, so true or false? This is my opinion. Resolve is the best Lagwagon record.
I don't judge. It's pretty difficult for me to be objective about those things. I don't know. You know, I'm too close to it.
Yeah, very cool.
I like them all and hate them all at the same time. You know, there's always that kind of thing where you hear things later in hindsight. Hindsight's 20/20, right? You hear all these things that you wish you'd done differently. But I like that album. I mean, I like that it's a tribute album. I like that it's, you know, a record that's dedicated entirely to one person. That makes me feel good. I'm glad we did it. Right now, my favorite record we've made, if I have to choose, would be our newest record, because I really feel like we did something special with that record. And I'm closest to it, you know, right now, because it's new. That's how it is.
Cool.
But, yeah.
All right, so shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk about Stitch Puppy. That's your most recent solo record. It really captures a somber element, but at the same time, it sounds really beautiful at the same time. What influenced the tone of the album?
It was a doll that my daughter and wife made me by the same name, Stitch Puppy, which is where I got the name, and it was sort of my muse, without sounding too pretentious for the record. You know, so the doll is, I guess, was considered to be by them like a Victorian mourning doll, which is something. In the Victorian era, there was a thing where people of all ages would make dolls when they were grieving. As part of the grieving process, they would make a doll for, you know, if they could do it or not. You know, that was just something they would do, and even children. And I just thought that concept was really beautiful, and so that was a pretty rough couple of years. These last few years, I lost a few friends, and you know, I have a nice family. My wife and daughter care. They made this doll for me, and I just love this doll so much, and so I thought that's a good muse. That's a better muse than just about anything I can think of. So I won't call it conceptual, but you know, I'll try to write under one roof, you know, here to a certain extent. You know, all the songs are about just those kinds of things that I always seem to write about anyway. I don't know, but it did kind of end up having an effect on the tone of the record in some way. But there were other divisive things involved. I mean, I tried to make the record really fast. I didn't overthink things. It was much less produced than anything that I've done. There's a lot of live stuff on it. Yeah, so that's it. Stitch Puppy, I think of it as a doll that's it's sort of been through a lot of things and kind of stitches itself back together. You know, I like the metaphors in it. I like the idea that, you know, you gain wisdom, of course, through suffering, but at the same time, it's kind of entirely up to you whether, you know, how you hold it together. And so this doll has been sort of, it's just, you know, put back together. I don't know. It's a very strange, powerful doll that they made too. I mean, it's on the cover. I think if you saw it, if you held it, it just blows me away. But there's a thing that, you know, with children doing, you know, any kind of art where they haven't developed their inhibitions yet. It's like the world hasn't really completely screwed them up yet, you know, so they have ultimate, you know, bravery when they do things, and they just do exactly what they want to do. So, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna